and the needs for the tools to enhance this holistic development of our children was never greater. So, US Surgeon General Vivek Murthy stated, and I quote, "During my years caring for patients, the most common pathology I saw was not heart disease or diabetes, it was loneliness," unquote. And our youngest are the loneliest. A New York Times article from August this year, titled "We Have Ruined Childhood," cited a 2019 study that found, and I quote again, that between 2009 and 2017, rates of depression rose by more than 60% among those 14 to 17, and 47% among those ages 12 to 13. And this isn't just about better diagnosis or increased diagnosis. The number of children and teenagers who were seen in emergency rooms with suicidal thoughts or having attempted suicide doubled between 2007 and 2014. To put it simply, our kids are not okay, unquote. So our children really are in need of a method to access those same inner resources we access in meditation. They are in need of a method to help them achieve calm, focus, and self-confidence. So let us now learn about a program that offers children a practical way to tap into these inner resources while enhancing their cognitive abilities through left and right brain integration. I invite on stage Mr. Sunil Kanodia, who will host the next segment of our program on Brighter Minds. Sunil is an electrical engineer with an MBA from the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. He's also a certified heartfulness coach, a certified Brighter Minds facilitator, and a heartfulness practitioner since 2008. In his long tech and management career, he has worked with a number of leading companies and organizations, handling complex projects and programs. However, after a major health event in 2012, Sunil turned towards alternative healing and wellness practices and vowed to devote his time promoting these natural paths to health and healing to all. He plans to begin by focusing on children and establishing a center offering the Brighter Minds program to children between the ages of 5 and 15 here in the Triangle. He will share with us what the Brighter Minds program is and how it helps children access parts of their mental and inner abilities that standard education cannot unlock. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sunil Kanodia.
Thank you very much, Minu, for everybody joining the hall. The slides are very technical problem, but maybe this gives me the opportunity to welcome you all, and thank you so much for taking your time for this particular topic called Brighter Minds. While it is coming up, I can just tell you some about my story. Since I was a child, I was allowed to wonder. I was allowed to explore the world around me. I was allowed to listen to my heart, follow my instincts, and because of that, I have failed 10,000s of my times. So I know what 10,000 ways life doesn't work. And that learning, what my parents gave me, is so invaluable that I can say that I've lived 100 lives in one life. And that is the same challenge what when in the morning session, first session, Manisha was talking about Ritu Kriya. Ritu Kriya is nothing but daily routines which has to be in sync with earth, body, human being, using all the 5 elements. When the children, they sleep, they rest, and they always sleep in the night, they always are up in the daytime. They eat what they feel is right for their body, mind and soul. They reject whatever is not there intuitively and naturally. And the similar way, when Dr. Maurice was talking about sensitivity, he was talking about basic sensitivity of not just the brain in the cerebral column, he was also talking about the sensitivity of the body. You know, the senses. Based on the sensory perception, which is the 5 sensory perception is hear, smell, touch, feel, etc. We always feel that are we doing right in this environment? Or this particular alley we are walking out is dangerous, is not comfortable. That instinct, the perceptual things. As we are conceived in the mother's womb, since we become 5-year-old, we start adopting ourselves to the local parents, to the local environment. We start learning the behavior patterns, whatever is there of our parents and surrogate parents who are there around us since the time we are conceived till we are 5-year-old. What are we doing that time? We are customizing ourselves to the environment we are living in. I'll give you 2 simple examples. As my spiritual guide always used to give the examples to us, Daji used to give us. That assume there is a mother who's conceived a baby in the forest of Africa. She is surviving by listening, by hearing, by feeling the fear around her from wild animals and other things. So her conceptualized baby in her womb is also feeling the same thing because her mode is always fight, flight syndrome. So her blood is going to her limbs, hands, and legs all the time so that she can survive. And so is her fetus growing in such a way that all the blood is going to fetus, babies, arms and legs, and there is digestive system is shut down because if the blood has to go to somewhere else, arms and legs, it has to cut down its supplies from somewhere else. And where it will cut down to? It will cut down to digestive systems. It will cut down to the frontal lobe, which is developing memory and the growth. So her child will definitely have strong hands and legs, but weaker digestive systems and weaker brain, frontal brain. Similarly, assume there are a lot of Indians, I can give an example from India, like a lot of Indians, they send their daughter who's conceived to their mother's home. Even the agrarian society where everybody used to work, the girl has gone to her mother's home where she doesn't have to participate in any physical activities. She's taking care of her brothers, sisters, and siblings in neighborhoods. And when that baby is growing, that baby is always in the growth mode. It is not fighting and fighting syndrome. So they may not have very strong hands and legs as compared to the other mother example I have given you, but they will have a very good sense of being, belonging, awareness, as well as blood supply is going to their frontal lobe, digestive system, so they will come out differently. This is how we adopt our system. When we are born, till we are here, this age, from the childhood onward, we are nothing but the nutrition we have gathered from planet Earth, as Manisha was explaining through Ayurveda treatment, balancing the 5 elements. And as Dr. Maurice was telling us, we have gathered all the impressions of our lifetime journey. Who are we? With nutrition we gather from Mother Earth and the impression we have gathered our life. If you take away these 2, nobody can explain what they are, nothing. So in the children's thing, when I was going through the journey of my own, I don't want to go into my personal journey, I found Manisha was doing preventive, physical, mental, in sync with the nature health care. Dr. Maurice is talking about more spiritual, emotional, and intellectual balancing so that it can be this. What about children, as Minu was telling? So we found that in 2015, our practice got into the brighter minds by some set of people who lived and worked in America. They came here to do the masters in art. They went back to India after spending 20, 30 years. So they got all the good things about learning systems and methods and culture of this country. They went back to the ancient systems. They studied the different elements of that, and they came up with this idea called Brighter Minds. 2017 January, we launched the Brighter Mind in a pilot mode in USA, and basically it is nothing but training the program for the children so that whatever patterns in the neuron systems, in the brain system they have adopted over a period of time, can they be tuned? Just to give you an example, typically we all know by using our prejudices that if somebody, mother or father in the house or somebody in the house plays music, the children are naturally attached to the music. Somebody in the home is more analytical, logical, mathematical things, their children are normally good in mathematics. So what happened is there's an imbalance between left-hand brain and the right-hand brain in the coordinations of the child's development. There's nothing wrong, nothing right, I'm just saying there's an imbalances. One side of the brain is developed, other side of the brain is not developed. So what happened is in the Brighter Mind program, they said let's give a focused approach to the children where they will be given set of tools by rewiring part of the neuron using neuropathology, and so that they can spend on basic things. What are the basic things as a human being we are supposed to do? We are supposed to focus. We are supposed to have the ability to observe, wonder. We are supposed to have our intuitive gut feeling. Feel that what is right, what is wrong on our own. That is our internal GPS systems. We have to have a memory. Like we should be able to remember certain things so that we don't have to do the same mistake again, or some lessons learned we have done. We should improve upon them, and we should have a confidence that yes, we as a human being, I as a human being is sufficient inside. Whether I get 100 out of 100 in mathematics or I get 30 out of 100 in mathematics, it doesn't define me who I am. I am a superhuman being, and I am self-sufficient, I'm whole, and I'm one. That is very important for any person, especially the children, to have the confidence inside, and then I should have empathy. Not sympathy, but empathy. So these are the skills what Brighter Mind team developed in US as well as in India. And I just want to read out this particular slide. Please pardon me because this is very important. I can't memorize this myself. The Brighter Mind mission statement is to inspire and equip every child with the tools and methods to enhance their cognitive skills, functioning for achieving personal excellence, and to instill confidence in oneself. To me, this statement is not something that we are going to give something from outside to the child. They already have it. We just have to make sure that that is exposed. That untapped potential that every child has is already explored by themselves. So we are not doing anything from outside. As Dr. Morris was giving an example of a block, that this have to remove the unnecessary things so that they can visualize themselves. So this is the mission statement of a Brighter Mind, which excited me, and I got committed to this particular cause for the children. And this particular slide basically explains, this is a very common things which is used in the medical professions, in the children's psychologists, and all other things where we start labeling the children by using different abbreviations, alphabets, and try to classify them in a certain box or others, and try to categorize them, and based on that start using tools like DPC-DRG code or ICD-CPD code and start treating those effects. To me, each one of them are effects. So idea was the Brighter Minds team working is these effects are very common, because if you want to do something, people should be able to observe, people should be able to say that yes, this particular effect I was able to see, but now that effect is gone. In the day, whatever you do, it has to be a scientific approach. It has to have a scientific explanations. It should be observable. It may not be able to measure how much is the pressure the child is having or how much is the temperature the child is having, but you should be able to still observe the behavioral patterns and see that is the Brighter Mind making a difference into these characteristics which are considered not so good to have, but still could be better, right? So these are some of the things became the issue which were faced by the team, and they say yes, these are the things we would like to have, because there is nothing called learning disability. It is just that a child is in a different environment. Child has not been given certain set of tools. Child has not been mapped to her or his potential, and then you start classifying, or I start classifying that as learning disability. So idea is once you take out everything which children has been imposed upon, and I'm going to pause here to give you a little story here. My parents, I was very lucky, my parents never told me that I have to become an engineer or a doctor, otherwise I'm useless. I'm sure a lot of Indians will not agree with that way, but this is generally the kind of pressure people have. So what happens is we start imposing our own do's and don'ts to our children. I did not get a chance to do horse riding, but my child will do horse riding. You know, I did not do calligraphy, but my child will do calligraphy. You know what? I was studying in the modern school. I could not do volunteering in the poor kids in India. My child will do the volunteering for poor kids in India. So we impose our ideas to them. When we want to enhance the potential of things, we have to remove those things and let them naturally come out as observant, balanced, empathetic children. And that is what is the potential of each child we would like to show. We are not adding anything, we are just letting them explore their own potential by removing the things which might happen. So I had touched about it. There is a certain patterns of behaviors, certain observational things, certain repeated things. People have developed the traits from the family, from the environment, from the culture, from the society, from the schools, from the peer pressure, whatever they have gathered since they're conceived in their 5-year-old time defines them. The good thing is, because they have adopted, if you give them a complete tool sets and support system, they can unadopt. So that adopting which has happened based on the environment and the toolbox, and unadopting which we are trying to do is very scientific. I don't want to spend a lot of time here, but I think we have experts people over there. But I'm trying to say is whatever is done in the Brighter Mind is very scientific. There's a set of doctors, set of different skill set people who have gone and used basically neuroplasticity to recirculate and rewire by using repeated activities, repeated set of things, individual activities the parents and children at home between the sessions, and try to do something with the group in the classrooms settings, do certain things basically which are physical in nature, memory games, eye games, you know, different senses enhancement, listening, touching, feeling, different music which gives different kind of vibrations and all. So all these things basically to do the cross model and repath those neuron systems. As I already covered, that basically we are unmasking the potential by rewiring them, so I don't want to spend much time on this slide. And the result which can be seen very visibly is all the things so-called negative in the child, which are labeled negative, they become positive. Isn't it wonderful? And it is not a rocket science, it is a 30 hours classroom training supported by the parents in the home for their home activities in a repeated patterns for those 30 hours, which is spread over 9 weeks time. And then effort spent in the classroom by the certified facilitators. I think how many facilitators we have in the room? We have some? Yeah, here. Yesterday two facilitators are there. Yesterday we trained 13 facilitators in this area. So thank you so much for coming. Actually we have 4 facilitators. So all these things which are basically using the BM facilitators in the classroom for 30 hours, they put their heart, soul along with the children in a very well structured program. The program is so well structured that each day what activity has to be done, the set of activities, set of cards, set of eye exercises, set of relaxation, dance or music, certain things are, so that over a period of time you start with the child here which is very hyper, tire the child down by dance and fun activities, do certain things in between, certain things in between. By the time the child is there toward the 3rd, 4th, 5th hour of the day, and then they will start getting relaxed, they start getting into the zone, they start feeling things, they start sensing sound. Now they are with their inner self. And that is the time they start developing their own intuitive skills. Because they already have it, now we have brought them to that state, and we do that repeatedly with the help of awesome facilitators in the classroom and awesome parents who are preventive care parents. They are not breakdown maintenance people, they are preventive care. They will work with them in that home without any pressure. And this is what is achieved as a full potential. Just to give you the introduction. And people say, hey, how does it is going to affect me in this material world? Everybody in our practice, whether it's Dr. Morris, Meenu, and Devi, Sisra, and Manisha, everybody, we all are preventive people, right? But we also live in the material world. So how does this is going to affect me in academics? Of course, you have a child which is focused, child who's spending his or her energy using some guided GPS system in a role, will do where he or she feel his interest lies there. They will excel in academics, and some of these numbers have been gathered over 4 years data. We have around 15,000 students data so far, mostly in India, around 600 in US. And these are the numbers which has come out in terms of improvement. Not every child will have instant results, because like any other preventive thing, whether it is Ayurveda or whether it is naturopathy and all, the result of preventive care happens because there we are not attacking the effect, we are attacking the cause. So it takes longer for result to come, but whatever results come, they become permanent. By giving the Brighter Mind to the children, we are giving them the gift of the lifetime. We are installing them the confidence, empathy, focus and determination, so they can achieve what they came here to achieve in the most effective way. And these are some of the things which will help them in academics and other fields in their life, because they will not only improve. The first person who improved in the Brighter Mind, as per my observation experience in the last 2 years, is the BM Brighter Mind facilitator. That is the first person who transforms. Then the children transforms. Every day you see the changes in them. They transform. I mean, there is a paradigm shift. And then their families transform because they see the child blossoming in a different way. And then the class they attend, their class transform. Then the community they live, they transform. It is the kind of change which is like, it's very, they call it, smile is contagious. If I smile, everybody starts smiling. Yawning is contagious. Brighter Mind is contagious. It just transforms wherever they are. Like one person, small number of people can make a wonderful difference. And that is what is also quantifiable for the academic world. So I have a video here because we don't have any children trained yet in Brighter Mind. Yesterday we did 13 Brighter Mind facilitators. 3 came from Atlanta, 1 lady came from Los Angeles because there was the only training schedule available. And remaining people are from this area. Myself and Manisha, we are certified. We have other people sitting there, Jyoti sitting there, okay, Cameron sitting there, Nepali sitting here, Orange sitting here. We have around 8 or 9 people. Can you just come down here in the front, please, if you don't mind? Please, can you just come over there? All the BM certified facilitators.
Sure.
These are the wonderful people. They come from different backgrounds. I mean, each one of their background, if you ask them, this is jaw-dropping. So, wow, I'm working with these people. These are so awesome people. The kind of things they have done in their life, each person has his own story. Right? So these are the set of people who are right now BM certified right now in this particular hall, and many more will be there when we do the sex session on 7th of March 2020. And when we have our next Dhyanutsavs, I can say that we will have actual real children from RTP area in front of you demonstrating the changes they have gone through in this area. Thank you. Thank you very much. So we will take to play the videos. And this child, again, one disclaimer I will have before I start playing the thing. These are Alpha Plus children. The Brighter Mind is an Alpha program and Brighter Mind is an Alpha Plus. Alpha Plus is an exceptional program. Basically children who reach the ultimate. So my humble request to everybody who is watching this video should remember one disclaimer I started before I started this video. Do not expect. Do not put that thought in your mind that your child will join the Brighter Mind will become like this. That is not the goal. You don't want your child to become a magician. You know what I'm saying? You want your child to realize his or her potential. Each human being is different. Each child is different. You want that child to experience his or her potential of using sensory things, intuitive things, empathy and things like that. Have that humility when you look at this video. Thank you so much. And I have seen these children since 2015. I come from Monroe, New Jersey, and these little small kids, I used to play them. I was their Sunny the Bunny boy who used to play with them when everybody used to go for meditation. And they really make me cry every time I watch this video.